Hello everybody, welcome. We're gonna jump into game number 3. Come on, give me that production tab. This is game number 3, and as the music may suggest, things are getting a little heated up here. Kozan at the bottom right of his map of choice. This is gonna be his third map of choice, which means he has 2 losses under his belt. Our green Terran from xSaga, Kozan. xSaga Kozan. At the top left on Belshire Vestige, which is the map of choice for Kozan, is going to be our blue Terran from Clan Last Dynasty, Anwis. Let's see how these 2 players want to deal with this. Now here's the situation. Here is the situation report. Anwis, 2 wins under his belt in this best of 5, needs 1 more win to take the victory. Kozan, 2 losses under his belt. Has been able to pick the last 2 maps. This is the 3rd map he's picked. He needs this game to keep himself in this best of 5. Best of 5 means that one of these players needs 3 wins, whether consecutive or not. We're going to see no wall off from either one of these players. We're actually not going to see a Rax quite yet from Mr. Kozan, as we do see a very fast gas. Gas before Rax. Nothing to laugh at here. Kozan has a plan in mind. Anwis, on the other hand, playing a lot more standard, looking like he might get that. He might not get his gas. I would not be surprised when we do see the gas getting queued up right there. I would not have been surprised one bit to see a fast command center going down right after that Rax. Anwis is proving himself to be a macro beast of burden. Given Last Dynasty, good name for itself. Kozan, on the other hand, though, Kozan's up to no good. xSaga's got a troublemaker over here, and will Anwis be able to figure it out? He's gonna most likely click on that gas harvester count. It's at 2,350, while his is at 2,440. Significant difference, though inconspicuous in its own way. Factory coming out shortly after that, and we're going to see a little tango with SCVs here. And we're saying, I don't want no trouble, I just want to see what you're doing. Nothing personal. Let's rumble. Alrighty, what do we have over here? We have a reactor after 2 Marines. 2 Marines enough to deal with a Reaper in some instances. After that reactor, we're going to get a command center going down. 1 SCV. Going to take the tower closest to his opponent. He is not a bashful SCV. He is no bashful scout, as we got a starport coming out after here. We're going to see a classic 1-1-1 opener, and with that gas first, I think we're going to see a very aggressive 1-1-1 opener. The second gas now being saturated. Tech Lab is just about finished up. Will we see some tanks coming over here? Kozan almost looking like he wants to do a very similar attack that Anwis did last game, when Anwis caught Kozan taking a command center first. But instead, we're actually going to see this factory moving on over here. It's going to build its own reactor, which makes me think we're either going to see Hellions or Widow Mines. And I'm thinking Hellions to start off here. This factory is building us a Raven, oh so powerful in the TV team matchup. Anwis, on the other hand, that expansion is just about finished. We see the Q point over here, over to the mineral line, which means we can saturate this expansion faster and faster. We see also a 1-1-1 opener for our opponent here, but just slower here. Widow Mine coming out first and fast, and these Marines gonna be very cautious about some units, about a possible attack, a possible prong attack actually, as he splits up his units very nicely here with a little bit of game sense. However, no units are actually across the field here, as we see a very delayed expansion. Kozan taking the initiative to get his own natural going here. Now this, of course, is going to give Kozan a little bit, going to leave him a little bit behind when it comes to the money game, but he does have a very interesting tech choice here. As we do see more and more swapping here, a little more standard here. As we do see now tanks getting produced, as well as Marines getting produced twice at a time. Over here, we're going to see a very similar story very soon. That initial Widow Mine, or two, we got two Widow Mines. Those initial Widow Mines, more like safety mines than anything. As that natural makes its way over to the natural position, clenching Anwis. A nice natural, well ahead of his opponents. Both players playing defensive, moving these units out defensively to keep an eye, make sure that that natural does not get pummeled. Both players with a Raven, interestingly enough, and with Viking production directly after. They've been reading the same book, but Kozan moving on out here. At the same time, Anwis has both of these watchtowers, so he's able to see what's going on. Big scan going down, money scan. Anwis going to show everything he's got here. Going to show his defensive setup here as the watchtower is taken out. That poor Marine didn't even see it coming. Alright, well, here comes some big aggression here from Kozan. I think what Kozan wants to do is he wants to kind of even it out. He wants to do a little bit of damage. I don't think he's going to give everything for this attack. I think he just wants to do a little bit of damage to kind of feel like it's evened out, that he's taking that command center a little slower than before here. But suddenly, we're in an awkward position here. A lot of units going out from Anwis. A lot of units getting taken out here. And we're in this awkward position here where we're pummeling this bunker. I think that bunker might go down. If that bunker goes down, Kozan is going to feel really good about it. More and more SCVs getting pulled off the line. This one tank over here is getting free reign. 7 kills on it right now. 1 kill on this tank as it shoots from a distance. This tank able to actually grab some damage off of some tanks and some Marines. And that defense looking pretty solid for Anwis. Well, the push out went down. I don't think Kozan dedicated too much to that. And he's going to go back, lick his wounds a little bit, and his economy suddenly doesn't look too bad to his opponents, even though the gas is a little behind. Saturation clearly is a different story. And at this point, once he can grab those 2 gases, it's going to be a matter about getting that 3rd down faster. Anwis moving on across the map. Also, I'm not sure if he wants to just grab these towers or if he wants to go the full 9 yards with the sexy land. Nothing is sexier than seeing Vikings land on the ground. Nope, I proved myself wrong. Seeing them go into all flight mode is equally as sexy as seeing them land on the ground. And suddenly Anwis has those towers back in his control. Anwis doing a fantastic job all of these games, all of the games we've seen him with grabbing those towers, fighting for those towers, and also fighting for very important avenues of defense as we see some Marines moving out across the map here. This Marine will be able to hopefully spot pesky medevac trying to sneak out around the map. And speaking of medevacs, what is the medevac count looking? It looks like, could that possibly be the first medevac of Kozan? 3rd expansion, just about halfway done. Ooh, that saturation just looks crazy. That's we don't have medevacs for either one of these players, except Kozan does have a little advantage in the medevac count. I'm not even sure if he has a reactor on that starport now that I think of it. Oh, he does. He does. But suddenly Kozan's going to need all the medevacs he can produce here, because suddenly Kozan is going to be under some pressure here. These Marines are going to have to sit tight, hang out with these tanks. These tanks are going to be the mudslingers, the catapults of the army here. And Anwis with clearly with the Viking, more Viking count, higher Viking count. And we're seeing a little bit of a containment going down here. Now Anwis is going to feel really nice about this containment, because in the background His third base is getting saturated. It's getting some units for defense there. And Kozan, more and more the game goes down, the more and more Anwis is going to have a little bit more economy to his name. But at the same time, if Anwis stays here too long and Kozan plays this as beautifully as possible, Anwis could lose a lot. He could lose all of these tanks because there's going to be a breaking point where these tanks are going to just oh no, a little faulty in the pathing. Damn it, Davidkin. And Kozan is pouncing on this opportunity here. Now the medevacs are in the name of Anwis here. At the same time, it looks like it's not enough here, and Anwis is going to lose all of that force here. Some harassment going down on the third. Not going to be enough to take substantial losses. But this third expansion is on its way to the third position. One Marine will try and delay it as much as possible. That's James Bond over there. And that is going to be a significant supply loss for Anwis. But at the same time, we've got units churning out this whole time. The more time that goes by, maybe even the distance that it takes to walk over to Anwis's base, that army is not going to look as small as some people would want it to. All right, the scans are going down here with these command centers. So many scans, so little time. The tank line, the tank numbers looking a lot stronger for Kozan, but at the same time, these Marines. So many Marines on the ground. These tanks in full retreat are only gonna get sniped down here. Even these Vikings might get sniped down here. And a lot of back and forth going down from both of these players. The third expansion, some long distance mining going down right before that third is able to get plopped down on the ground. This could possibly be the last game of this set of the finals, or could only be the beginning. I feel like I'm watching sumo wrestling right now. The way both of these players are just pushing each other back and forth. Right now, it does look like Anwis has a significantly larger force. Only one, well, no, he's got more and more medevacs out here, but a total of 3 medevacs. And 3 medevacs by the 17-minute mark. Not too impressive, however, compared to his opponent, who only has 2 and also has a significantly smaller number of units just in general. How much damage is Anwis going to be able to do with this push out against the third? Looks like a lot. Even the SCVs going off the line, and a lot of times when the SCVs come off the line, it is a little bit of desperation going down. The third command center does go down. Oh no, Kozan on the back foot. We see in the production tab he is immediately building that third command center. He needs that back as soon as possible. Kozan in a tough predicament here. This is Kozan's last stand. This is Custard's last stand here. And was moving out across here. Both these players keeping a good eye on each other with these scans. And really, Kozan, he can either sit back and defend, or he can push out and try to catch his opponent, Anwis, out of position. And Anwis, with the benefit of both of these towers, is going to be the one to move forward here, looking quite confident here. The Marine count and a little bit of surround going down here, and the Marines are just far too powerful. The tank count looking like it doesn't mean too much. Oh no, Kozan giving the GG. Anwis taking the GG. Kozan saying sorry for such bad play. I wouldn't call it bad play, but it was quite a battle. Oh. And GG! Oh, GG, it feels so good.